In the silence of your room, when no one is watching, you turn to a familiar routine, a private ritual, a few clicks, a few minutes, and then release. Satisfaction maybe, guilt almost certainly, and then emptiness. Masturbation, especially when fueled by internet pornography, has become the silent epidemic of our generation. It's easy, it's accessible, and it's everywhere. But what if that simple habit is quietly destroying your mind, your body, and your future? This is not about morality. This is about truth. You feel tired all the time, don't you? Foggy, distracted. You sit at your desk, trying to focus, but your mind drifts. You're scrolling endlessly, procrastinating. The motivation just isn't there. That spark, that edge is gone, and deep down, you know something's wrong. That's the cost of overstimulating your brain's reward system. Every time you finish, your brain floods with dopamine, the chemical of pleasure and motivation. But over time, the more you flood it, the less it responds. This is dopamine resistance. You need more to feel less. Eventually, even the things you used to love, books, relationships, goals, they feel dull. You're chasing highs that no longer come. And you're left with a flat, grey numbness. But it doesn't stop there. Some men find themselves struggling with something they never thought possible, the inability to get aroused with a real partner. This is porn-induced erectile dysfunction. The brain, rewired by years of high-speed, pixel-perfect stimulation, no longer reacts to real-life intimacy. You could be in the arms of someone beautiful and yet feel nothing. Because real life is slower, messier. It doesn't compare to the fantasy your brain was trained to crave. Then there's the emotional toll. You begin to feel anxious. Not the kind that comes and goes, the quiet, persistent kind. Social situations make you uneasy. Eye contact becomes a struggle. Your confidence fades. And the worst part? You don't even know why. But your body knows. After every release, there's a crash. Biochemically, you dip. Prolactin rises. Testosterone drops. Serotonin dips. Your nervous system collapses into recovery mode. What follows is not peace, but fatigue, a fog, a sense of guilt, of weakness, of defeat. You think you're just tired, maybe burned out, maybe stressed. But what if it's your habits? What if the damage isn't out there, but within? Your hormones, too, are affected. Chronic ejaculation can lower testosterone, the very hormone that makes you feel like a man. It's your fuel, your fire. It drives ambition, energy, muscle growth, libido, and confidence. But when your body is constantly told, we're done, we don't need to fight, we don't need to hunt, we're satisfied, it stops producing at full power. You feel softer, slower, more passive. And yet, you might never connect the dots. You start skipping the gym. You stop chasing your goals. You lose discipline because every time you give in to instant gratification, you weaken your willpower. You reinforce the idea that you need pleasure now, and slowly that need spreads to every area of your life. You start breaking your routines. You stop pushing through discomfort. You start quitting early. And it all begins with that one quiet surrender behind closed doors. And what about sleep? You think it helps you fall asleep. And maybe it does. But it ruins the quality. After ejaculation, your body enters a false sense of rest. But the sleep you get is shallow, interrupted. Your REM cycles suffer. You wake up tired, you live tired. You think this is just how life feels now, but it's not. You've just forgotten what true energy is. Even worse, you begin to isolate. Slowly, subtly, you cancel plans. You stop seeking connection because the screen gives you what you think you need. You get pleasure without risk, excitement without rejection, validation without vulnerability. And so, real human interaction becomes less appealing. Loneliness grows, and yet you stay in the loop, trapped by a habit you didn't realize was a trap. And then there's something deeper, something most men never talk about, the spiritual cost. Sexual energy is powerful. In every culture, in every ancient text, it is seen as sacred, not just biologically, but energetically. It is life force, creative force, the drive to build, to love, to conquer, to transcend. But when that energy is spilled day after day, week after week, on meaningless pixels, something inside you fades. You begin to feel hollow, directionless, like a ghost of the man you could have been. You lose your edge, your hunger, your purpose. You might be alive, but you're not truly living. And this isn't just your story. This is happening to millions. A global generation of young men, drained and distracted, numbed and neutralized by a habit that pretends to be harmless. But it doesn't have to be this way. You're not broken. You're just misaligned. The power is still within you. It's waiting for you to say no more, to reclaim your strength, to take back your focus, your energy, your self-respect. You just need to become aware. You need to decide, do I want to be a man of control or a slave to impulse? Because the cost is real. It's your mind, your body, your future, but so is the reward. Clarity, confidence, energy, drive, deeper relationships, fiercer ambition, spiritual strength. This is not a punishment. This is a transformation. You were not born to live behind a screen. You were born to rise.